My name's Ian Jones.
And this is my dad, Hayden. In January, I'm going to run and cycle the length of the UK to help him get back on his feet again.
So a bit of a backstory. When my dad was a lot younger, about 24 years old, he had a kidney transplant. From no fault of his own, just had an infection and ended up having to have his kidney removed. From that, he has had lots of complications over the years, and that has led to kind of his immunity suppressant tablets, which means he doesn't have a very good immune system, and therefore he gets ill quite a lot of the time over Christmas and stuff like that. When there's normal bugs about, he obviously gets it more than most people. So it was no surprise that when COVID turned up, he obviously ended up contracting the virus. He recovered from coronavirus quite well. He had a spell in hospital, but managed to recover. The only lasting issues he had was, apart from the kind of shortness of breath, was his toes. So an apparent side effect from coronavirus is that some people lose the circulation to their toes. For a lot of normal people, the circulation comes back. My dad, however, doesn't obviously have a normal immune system to fight off this, and so his toes never really got a lot better. He started noticing kind of redness. He went to the doctors, they said it should get better. It then went from kind of redness to soreness, and eventually started to see kind of black spots on his toes. This was when they realised that the blood was not going to come back at all, and his toes started to die, and eventually all three of his toes, on the inside of his big toe and little toe, died completely, went completely black, as if you can imagine frostbite. Someone who has frostbite, that's essentially what it looked like. And they decided in the hospital that the only way to kind of solve this and to stop the decay was to essentially amputate. And the best place they could amputate was just below the knee. This has now led to obviously my dad having his leg amputated and taken off, and a spell in the hospital to recover from that, and now we're looking to try and get him back on his feet. So my dad was, when he was a lot younger, very, very active, and once he had his kidney transplant, never really stopped being active, moving around, doing stuff, which is why his kidney lasted so long. His kidney actually lasted almost, as old as I am, about 26 years before it started to fail again, which it has now, and he's going to look for a new kidney transplant anytime soon. But he has always been active. He does a lot of stuff outdoors, and we go out and do a lot of kind of shooting, hunting, stuff like that, and he'd love to get back on his feet. The issue with this is that he requires a lot of physio, and obviously because of his kidney complications, he can't leave the hospital. So I am looking to raise some money to, one, get him the physio that he needs, two, look at possibly getting prosthetics if he can get strong enough to get back on his feet. Three, we need to adapt the entire house, so we need to now provide a kind of downstairs bathroom, wet room, bedroom for him, because he can't get upstairs and we can't put in a stair lift because the stairs are too thin, and a whole lot of other issues, so we need to adapt the whole house. And then four, I'd like to try and raise enough money, which is why I went for quite a big goal, to essentially help other people who are going through this process, because I know there are a lot, do the same sort of things. So try and get them physio, talk them through the process of how we went around finding grants and sponsors and stuff like that. And that's the kind of long-lasting thing that I want to get from this. And so my challenge to try and get people to donate is to run/cycle from Land's End to John O'Groats, so the length of the UK. I realise I've asked for quite a substantial amount of money that I'm trying to raise, and so I thought to make that really worth it, and to justify me asking a good amount of money, I needed to do something that was just as substantial and just as crazy, I suppose. My plan is to run and cycle the length of the UK. So I'm going to do, I think it's about 862 miles, something like that. And my plan is to run 30, cycle 100, run 30, cycle 100, run 30, cycle 100, until I finish, which I think, mapping it out and measuring it out and doing the maths, is going to take me about 14 days. So I'll have a bit of a support crew with me. So Heather is who's behind the camera right now, is going to follow me up in the van and essentially ply me with food. And other than that, I'm just going to keep running and keep cycling until I get to the end. And I hope that by me running and cycling, that's a good way for me to kind of raise awareness and help my dad get back on his feet again. Appreciate that a lot of people don't have anything to give, especially after the last 2 years. And so if all I can ask is that if you don't have anything to give, please share this video. It would mean a lot to me and to the rest of my family. And obviously, if you can give any donation, big or small, it really doesn't matter. I appreciate it a lot, and our GoFundMe link is below. I'm going to document the whole thing so that hopefully other people who are in a similar situation can follow along with the sort of stuff that I've done, join in on the sort of charity events and see who I've spoken to, see if I do get any grants or charitable donations, etc. They'll be able to see all of that, and I'm going to write a daily blog on my website, and obviously I'm going to document all of this through video and put it on YouTube. So I'll put all of the links below. You can follow along as I go and see how much pain I'm in January when I try and run and cycle almost 900 miles and hopefully don't die. Thanks very much. See you in a bit.